Now you know them boys about to start a war. Yeah, a war about to start. You never know. You could get caught in the crossfire. Might as well grab you a knife or a poker, man, and get with the program.
Haha, Dom the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around, I'll bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitches with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man? Suitcase this, my cell phone, and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Today, I'm going to be talking to y'all about what to expect and what you should do and what happens, you know, when a prison war breaks out. Now, when you see movies and shit like that, you see nothing but wars, nothing but fights, nothing but gang against gang, organization against organization. You know what I'm saying? But a perfect example of a prison war would be the movie Blood In, Blood Out. All right? Now, when you find yourself in the war, you can't help it but to strap up. You better go get you a knife. You better get your ass a knife, and you better be prepared. Even if you ain't part of the war yourself, if you're cool and you're associated with someone who is about to go to war, your ass better be strapped up, because they're coming for everybody. Everybody that is affiliated or associated, you know what I'm saying? They're coming for. Now, I've seen plenty of wars go down while I was in prison. Mostly was the Bloods against each other, like East Side against West Side. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got the West Coast Bloods against the East Coast Bloods. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them eat each other all the time. One time it was a 3-4 day spree, back and forth, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And when they do that, anybody walking with someone that is going to be attacked is going to be attacked. Literally. And it's common sense, because if I was one of the attackers, one of the people coming to attack someone also, and they're walking with 2-3 different dudes, and I know this dude's one of the dudes we got to go after, in my mind, I'm expecting the other 2 dudes to do something. So when I run up with my bang or my knife, I'm hitting anybody, anyone that's near him, bro. Anything moving, any foreign object, anything that's got any movement to it, I'm finna try to hit that shit, literally. So you gotta be prepared. And a lot of times, if you're not, you know, associated with certain people who are affiliated, or if you literally ain't got no parts with people that are involved in the war, then you can literally just see it from a distance go down. But at the same time, like I said, innocent bystanders do get hit too. So you gotta be aware at all times. So even if you aren't part of it, your ass is better off having a knife. Literally. You think about it. You're on an institution where there's 1,300 inmates. And out of 1,300 inmates, more than half of the population, I'd say 75 to 85% of the population have knives. Your ass want to be one of the ones that ain't got one? Or you want to be one of the ones that have one just in case you need it? You may never need it, but it's still better to have that shit and not need it than to need it and not have it, ain't it? Now, me personally, I wanted to speak on this because I literally was involved in 2 wars. You feel me? When I was incarcerated. And that's because my homeboy and the people I rock with, they was affiliated. And, you know, that's my dog. So since that's my dog, anyone try to harm him, anyone try to wet him, anyone coming for him, they're going to have to come for me too. So I got involved in some shit that a lot of people ain't got the nuts to get involved in. But at the same time, I didn't have a choice. It ain't like I could have been like, nah, bro, I'm good. You know, keep me out of it. Because the people on the other side of the field ain't thinking that. The people on the other side of the field were once cool with us all. You know, they was once cool with the organization that I was, you know, vibing with at the time. So they knew who the friends was of who. They knew who was always with who. So, you know, the more you show someone, the more dangerous they become to you. So after a while of everybody being cool with each other, now there's a separation on the pound. You already know what side I'm on, because you know I'm with this person every day. This person's, you know, we vibe, we mob the compound together and everything. So a war had took place, you feel me? 2 turns. And I literally made someone check in that was part of a gang. You know what I'm saying? He was a Thresse. I made a Thresse check in, you feel me? And I did what I needed to do, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, I was, you know, my dogs were kings, you feel me? So the whole shit was going down. And like I said, I had me a knife. I was prepared, ready for whatever. Because you don't know who's going to hit who when it comes down to it. Now, you could be walking back from the chow hall, all right? I'm going to use this as an example, what took place between the West Side and East Side Bloods. Walking back from the chow hall, and there was a green light on this one West Side set. I think it was Mob Pyru or something like that. There was a green light on them. So the East Side Bloods, you feel me, decided, oh, it's time to heat their ass, you feel me? We got to get them all off the compound. So the Billies rose, you feel me? Shout out to them Billies out there. They rose and they, you feel me, we're finna get them all off the pound. You feel me? They dubbed, they fake, or whatever it was. We got to get rid of them all. Now, I knew some people that was actually part of that set that was going to be eaten, you know? So they had, you know, a little wingspan, you feel me? The few that were part of the shit, you know, they had to roll over and become a different blood, you feel me? In time, they had to like roll over and get up under another set. If they didn't, then they were basically deer meat to all the other ones. A couple of them made it out the way like that. A couple of them couldn't. A couple of them didn't. A couple of them was like stuck, repping what it was. So walking back from the chow hall one day, and it's getting dark out as we're walking back from the chow hall. Because you know when time changes, you feel me? It gets darker sooner, darker later, you know, shit like that. So a lot of times on prison yards, they don't want inmates, you know, walking back from chow, or they want to feed you chow before it's even dark. They want to get you inside of your dorm so you're secured, locked away, you feel me? So your ass ain't out on the compound when it's dark out. Well, due to time change, and sometimes chow would be running late, our dorm was walking back and it was getting dark. It was literally dark out. And that's when the first hit took off. That's when about 5 of them East Side boys ran up on like 6 of them West Side boys. And what they did is, we're all walking back. It was my dorm. And as we're all walking back, you just hear the feet sliding on the concrete when someone's running. Like sounds like people playing basketball. So it catches your attention. And when you look, you see them boys. They ran up. They started wetting all types of different people. All people that were affiliated. But then again, it's dark out, so you can't really see who's who. And through the midst of it, one person who wasn't even affiliated ended up getting wet up also. You know, they ended up wetting this one dude up. And his nickname was 40. They called him 40 because he had 40 years. And he was a jitterbug too. He was probably like 22. 22 years old, had 40 years. But he was slanging that iron though. He was one of them. He was a threat, you feel me? He was a threat when it came to that getting down to business shit, you feel me? They knew he was going to wet something. So they hit him first quarter. They got all the threats of that West Side Bloods organization off the pound the first day. They got all the threats off the pound. The people they knew that was going to go, the people they knew that was going to smack something, they got them off first day. Next day, same shit happens. You feel me? They go to the school building. They're looking for them boys in there. People are chasing each other around the school building with knives trying to get them up off the pound. It took 3 days to get all of them off the pound. But the second day, some Billies ended up getting wet also during that, you know, confrontation. You see what I'm saying? And at this time, it kind of like was about to spark, you know, a big war, you know, because you got all the other East Side sets and you got all the other, you know, West Side sets that are thinking it's an East Side versus West Side thing. At the end of the day, you know, the West Side people don't want to let no East Side people run up on anybody from the West Side, even if it ain't their actual set. You see? And then same thing with the East Side, you know. If you ask run up on the Billy G Shines might get mad. Or, you know what I'm saying? Different gang that are still East Side, but different sets are going to feel some type of way. So it's about to spark a whole East Side, West Side war. But it didn't. It stayed amongst them two. You see what I'm saying? And it gets crazy like that because you're going to know people from both sides. You're going to know people who are on the East Side, people who are on the West Side. Literally. Even if it's someone you play cards with. Or if it's someone that works in the chow hall with you. Or if you're in masonry school, he's in there fucking mud and cement bricks with you. You're learning masonry together. You never know. You're going to learn who's who. So at the end of the day, that'll put you in the target. You could just, it could be someone that you're in masonry school with, or you work in the chow hall with, and you walk back at the same time every day, but y'all ain't friends, but y'all just know each other from class, y'all never speak on the pound, and y'all just walk together back to your dorms. People peep that. People peep every day, them two are always walking back to the dorm. Well, y'all got movement at the same time. So y'all are allowed to leave wherever you're supposed to be at to go back to your dorm at the same time. Now it looks like y'all hang out. Y'all are dogs. Y'all are homeboys. That's what other people peep when they see you. So now, when it comes time to a war going off, you might not have shit to do with it. You don't even know a war's coming, and someone run up and start putting that shit in your back, into your neck, your head, start taking patches out your head, all that. So you got to be on your P's and Q's. That's why a lot of people carry knives in there, okay? And that is something that's never going to end. That's something that the police been known forever. It's never going to stop. You know what I'm saying? Now, with the situation with me, when I was involved with the shit with my homeboys was, you know, a king ended up doing something to, you know, a Thresh that he shouldn't have did. I think he robbed him. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, the Thresh wanted to eat the king. The king said, nah, it ain't nothing. You feel me? They decided to jump the gun and do it anyways, and they hit him up a bunch of times. They wet him up a bunch of times, and then bam, that struck a war. And then when that war went down, my homeboys at the time, you feel me, who I was rocking with, like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Someone tried to come harm my dog, bitch, I'm on their ass. I'm on them. And that's what it is. Just like on the streets. You have a homeboy from the streets, you can meet him from a different neighborhood. It don't matter where he's from. If that's your dog, right? So you gonna rock with him regardless. Like, look at my dog, Haitian Mike. Y'all see my videos, I be having my homeboy Haitian Mike on here sometimes. My dog, Haitian Mike. He ain't from Davie. I didn't meet him in Davie. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I rock with him. He rock with me. You see? I'm going to rock with my dog. I'm going to ride with my dog. He going to do the same shit for me. You see? It don't matter where someone's from, what someone represents, none of that shit. You going to rock with them. If I was walking somewhere with Haitian Mike and some people ran up on him that knew him, they see me with him. You think they ain't going to try to harm me also? They better. Because if they come running up on him while I'm there, you got to worry about me, because I'm definitely going to get involved. Same thing if it was on my end. If I was somewhere and people ran up on me over here in Davie and he's with me, you think they ain't going to try to do something to him also? That's how it is in prison, bro. That's the shit you got to be ready for. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ready for something to go down at any time in prison. There's a lot of talking. And I don't mean by just talk. I mean, like, there's a lot of messages going in and out of ears, a lot of kites being written, all under the radar type shit. Just building up a war. That's what goes on all the time. You feel me? What you can expect as far as from the officers when a war goes down is you can expect them to, off rip, they're going to try to gas you. You know, they be scared as hell of the knives also. So they're going to try to gas you first quarter. There's no tasers in there. So they're going to try to gas you and get you to drop the knife. They don't want to get wet. You know, shit like that. But they can't control that much shit if so many people are rocking out with knives. So once they settle the situation, they'll lock the pound down. It'll be control movement. There'll be officers every few feet, and you got to walk with your hands on your head like this. Even if you're going to chow. Say it's chow all the time, they'll call one dorm at a time out. And they'll be standing there with flashlights if it's dark out. If it ain't dark out, they'll just be standing there, and every few feet will be an officer, and they want you to walk with your hands on your head like this. And you got to walk all the way to the chow hall, get your plate, sit down, eat. Walk all the way back with your hands on your head like this. You know, they turn it into control movement. You feel me? They'll put the pole out, which is a pole that's like looks like a stripper pole with like a box stuck on the bottom of it with a handle. And then that's a metal detector pole. You feel me? They'll put that out. You got to walk by that. You know what I'm saying? They'll lock the pound down because they'll think the shit's over with. They'll wait to see if there's any in-house beef, which means like after they lock the pound down, they're going to see if anybody wets anybody else up inside of their own dorms. That's how you know if a war is still going, or if that's how you know if it's amongst the in-house beef, which means it's just that dorm. But in all reality, it'd be the whole compound. That should be planned out like chess before the officers even get a whiff of it. You see what I'm saying? But my advice is be prepared, literally, whether you have something to do with it or not. Straight up. But if you do have something to do with it, or if someone you're cool with has something to do with it, then stick by your dog, man. Straight up. Because you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to be cool with someone and that's your dog until it's time to literally be his dog. And then you bow down. You know what I'm saying? Now you're over here praying like this and shit. No, you don't want to do all that. You want to be, if you're going to be someone's homeboy, you be their homeboy. You be a true friend, you feel me? Right or wrong, like Ply says, right or wrong, I was riding. And that's what it is. Because y'all know, y'all have friends. Everybody watching this has some type of friends, whether it's only 1 or 5. But even on the streets, y'all know y'all got that one friend that whether they're right or wrong, whether they are right or wrong, you're gonna rock with them, right? That's how I was with my dog. I didn't give a damn if he started the shit. I'm rocking with him. Or someone started with him, I'm definitely rocking with him. That's facts. That's how it is. You get what I'm saying? But I knew what I was getting myself into. A lot of times people don't see the bigger picture and they don't see what's really going on. You feel me? You'll be in prison hanging out with someone and little incidents will be popping off on the compound and then you feel like it ain't got shit to do with you or the people you vibe with, so it don't mean nothing. All that shit comes from somewhere. All that shit is just building up different things. You know what I'm saying? You could be chilling with someone that's in the gang and his homeboy, you know, that's cool with his organization. Another one of his homeboys can go wet someone up over there. And you could be like, well, shit, you know, he don't vibe with us that much. You know what I'm saying? But since we know him and we know he knows the organization, it's a problem. Because now we feel like we're on a plate now. Because they're going to want retaliation from what his move was, from what he did. And it may reflect on the people he was cool with, which is us. You see? That's why no matter what, you ass better protect yourself. Literally. That's just common sense. That's one thing that you have to do. You feel me? Me, you know, I got in where I fit in. I did what I needed to do to survive. Hanging out, rocking out, all that shit. Everyone I fought was basically a gang member, you know. But I had respect from all organizations. See, so a lot of times when a war would break out, I knew my part was I just had to stay out of it. But my main homeboy at the time, whatever he got involved with, it don't matter, bitch. I was there. Like when the east side and the west side bloods, when they eating each other, I knew people on both sides. So I had to stay out of it. It wasn't my place. When the Zoes ate all the Crips off the compound, they did that shit in like one day. Like today they hit up about half of them, and then the next day hit up about the rest of them. They did that shit in like a day and a half, I'd say. I knew to stay out of it. You feel me? Because it wasn't my place. But when it came down to like my dog that was a king at the time, he was, you know, his life was in jeopardy. You don't want to be chilling with your homeboy and someone take his life, someone end him. You know what I'm saying? And then after you hang out with him, you're around this organization, you start knowing all them, they start fucking with you. And then when he goes to confinement, they still fuck with you heavy. So now you know them, and then now you got more and more people just like him that's part of you that you fought with. So now when that person gets into it, here you go, you're behind them regardless. And then when people on the other side see you vibing with them, like I said, it makes you a target. A lot of times the shit that I found myself in when I was in prison was never my own beef. It was always because of who I was cool with, who I hung out with. Literally, almost 95% of the problems I got into in prison, y'all hear me now, was because I was cool with people who were affiliated. Straight up. Whether I did something because they did something to people I was cool with that was affiliated, or whether, you know, I ended up getting an altercation or someone came to try me because they knew I was cool with that person. All that. Every single thing I got into, I stood on my own 2 feet and handled up and did what I needed to do. But it was all because of who I was cool with. Straight up. There wasn't that many problems or that much beef of KFROG. It wasn't just to where KFROG got his own beef, or a bitch just came and wanted to try me, or they were like, oh, I'm finna try him because he's a white boy, he's unaffiliated. No, that shit didn't go down with me like that. You feel me? I got myself in some type of situations and shit, but it always led back to why'd I split that dude? Why'd I knock that dude's golds out when he told everybody they were perms? When I was telling everyone they pull outs, and I rocked his ass, and them bitches slid under the bunk. Why I did that? Because he was affiliated and something happened with his brother against one of my dogs that was affiliated. Everything that I did, literally, if you back up, it came from being a beef between two different organizations. You see what I'm saying? And it gets real shiesty when it comes to these gang wars. Straight up, because a lot of gangs want numbers. You feel me? Straight up. They'll bring people home and everybody's solid when it's time to come home. When it's time to join the gang, everybody's solid. But then when that real war strikes and it's time to stick a blade 5-6 inches in someone, wet someone up, airlift them, put their ass on that helicopter, let them go enjoy that helicopter ride. It don't matter if you got 50 people that are affiliated. Out of them 50 people, boy, not everybody got in them. That's when that ratio gonna start dropping. That's when them gangs see them numbers of who's the real smackers. You feel me? And a lot of times, the ones that do rock, a big portion of them only rock because they have to. Because they scared what they gang gonna do to them. They scared of their own gang. So they feel like if they don't rock and go through with it and they're not fully committed, that the back end that they get in return is the shit endless stick. They gonna get extra crucified by their own gang. You feel me? And then it makes them do what they do. But then you got some out there that are just straight smackers. They don't care about, they ain't scared of their gang. They gonna rock, they gonna wet whoever, and they do it, you know, on the strength of who they truly are. They like that shit. They get a drive out of it. You feel me? But if there's 50 of them, when a war strikes, you'll see about 18 of them rock. Out of them 18, the other ones get flipped and X'd out by their own gang. The other 18 rock. That's how it is when a war breaks out. You see what I'm saying? They be wetting each other. You know what I'm saying? Cause you from the east side and you ain't helped me hit this west side person. Or we went on a mission, us three, repping the east side, decided to go over here and catch this west side person, and he got away from us. So now us three are all in trouble by our gang. Our own gang eats us, wets us up, gets us out of there, X'd us out. We flopped. That's what they say. That shit gets real shiesty, man. Straight up. And it goes down. It's part of life. Literally. Majority of the shit, I'd say 98, if not 99% of the bad things that go on in prison don't even hit the news. Don't even get out there like that. You feel me? That's why you can't go off of the things you see or hear. Because that's probably, when you hear an incident happen in a prison and it shows it on the news and TV, that's probably the 1,000th time that shit's happened. It just now got out there. It got out there somehow. But that shit always stays. You know what I'm saying? Prisons know about it. Like if I'm in a prison walking around and say I'm at DeSoto and I hear there was a war at Charlotte, totally different institution. Word travels like that inside prisons. Someone got transferred that was there. They landed over here, told someone else. That person remembers it, came to this camp. Word travels amongst inside institutions. And then, of course, people got phones, so they could call from one camp to another. Like, hey, yeah, bitch, we over here at Charlotte, bro. We just got in a war with such and such. For real? Yeah, be on beat. All right. And then them want to rise and go attack the same gang in the institution they're in that have nothing to do with it. Because you might go to one institution and the Bloods and Crips might be beefing with each other. But then you go to another one and there ain't no beef. There's no war. They're cool with each other and they're rocking out against the Zoes together. Or it's always different institutions. You see what I'm saying? That's what's crazy about Florida prison. See? Like the Crips and the G's might be tied at almost every single camp you go to. You know, but then you might go to another camp and they're not tied. You know, they don't fuck with each other. The last war they went through was with them. But then you're like, damn, you just came from a camp where y'all were tied and y'all were homeboys. One of your closest dogs that you was vibing with was one of them. So now you got it in the back of your mind, like, you know, here I got to go to war against them, but I feel like I'm going against one of my homeboys' home team. His family. That's his family. You see what I'm saying? But you got to put your pride to the side and you got to, you know, lock that shit in. Like, it ain't nothing personal. He knows I fought with him, you know, and you got to go and carry on and do what you got to do against that fucking organization. You feel me? That's the type of shit that you got to be ready for in prison. That shit's shiesty, man. I see people wet their own brothers up, man. Set their own brothers up. Get them up out of there. Not just because their brother did something wrong. It could be just because he was eating more than them. He had it made. He had phones. He had a shitload of lockers, a canteen. He was a store man. Seen people out of envy want what he has. Wet up their own kind. Think of a reason to X him out. Think of a reason to where his other brothers would rise with him, to where they all go and attack him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's crazy, bro. You got to be ready, man. Them wars is no joke. Straight up, that shit be, you know, a lot of talking back and forth and then going and telling this person. It's like snake shit. Straight up, just like the movie Blood In, Blood Out. If y'all ain't see it, go check it out. When they inside the chain gang and they go through that war. Boy, that shit real. But anyways, y'all, I want y'all to drop in the comment section if y'all have ever seen a war go down amongst organizations, or a war go down amongst, you know, neighborhood, you know, turf on the streets. You know, you might be from 25th Street and you beef with 26th Street. You know what I'm saying? You might be from the east side, beef with the west side. You know, you might be from the north side, beef with the south side. Y'all put that shit in the comments and let me know how it is, because I already know on the streets, I grew up in East Davie. I'm the east side. You feel me? I rep the east side. You know, we beef against West Davie. So when y'all hear me say east side, it ain't got shit to do with East Coast and West Coast. It's because I'm from East Davie. You know what I'm saying? And we beef with West Davie. That's how it's always been. You get what I'm saying? So I know how it is when you got two different sides colliding, you know, beefing and shit like that. You know, they jump your homeboy if they catch him on their turf. Y'all catch one of theirs over there. Y'all, you rob them, hold them up, take whatever you want from them, pick a pocket, send them back over there crying so they come over there. You know, like, you know, I've been through all that shit, bro. You know, they beat up one of their homeboys on camera, send them a video. You know, like, let them know, bitch, it's how we rock on the east side. You know, all that shit. You know, I've been through that stuff out here on the streets. So it's the same way in prison. Same way, but your ass ain't got nowhere to go, boy. You're locked up. That's why I want y'all to put in the comment section, whether you were locked up or on the streets, if you ever seen a little war take off, if you ever grew up in a neighborhood to where y'all beef with someone across the tracks, or beef with someone across the street, or a couple streets down. Man, y'all put that shit in the comment section, man. I appreciate it. I enjoy reading it. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one on up. I appreciate y'all watching. Like I always say, make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out if you ain't hit it on the way in. And remember to keep them squares, rats, clowns, chomos, heavy gunners, liars, people that live in denial, who can't keep their old lady, who don't know if the baby's theirs. Keep them out your circle, man. Till next time, this Frog.